what can you say? It's just getting worse all the time, oh yeah. So many crazy...
Welcome all of you, and welcome to my show. I'm Monte Cagle, and I'm from the planet Zebulon. Now today, I wanted to talk to you about a very interesting topic, and it's these phenomenon, the things I'm going to talk about today, is happening around the whole world, and that is UFOs. It's amazing what's happening today with people seeing sightings of these unidentified flying objects all over the world, in some of the most unexpected places. They're just everywhere. And it's, years ago, it was just a few sites here, there, and a few places here and there that was kind of secretive then. And but now it's just every single day there is someone seeing a UFO everywhere. You know, there's the people, and the sightings have doubled, quadrupled, and they're just more and more and more till it's almost, it's just impossible to say that it just doesn't exist. I mean, years ago we could blow it off as a, oh yeah, okay, maybe, but now it's becoming more and more apparent to everyone. People in every walk of life is somebody that sees a UFO, and it's just so obvious. And a lot of the countries' leaders have admitted that they do exist. They talk about it amongst their people. But it seems that in the U.S., it's just still hush, hush, hush. They're holding on to it. I don't know why they hold it. They keep it from us. Or keep saying it's not happening. But there's a few ideas that I wanted to present tonight that can clarify that to you and show you why they're making it such a big secret. And I just want to say, I personally do believe in UFOs because I've had an encounter with a UFO, or you might say beings from another world. It really happened when I was a kid. I had a very outstanding and wonderful event happened to me. I can't deny it. I never talked about it a lot, and like most people are just afraid to talk about it, because if you talk about it, you're but it actually happened, and I thought it was cool, and I'm sure many of you, some of you have had the experience too, and I want to bring it out. I don't think we should be ashamed of it. I don't think we should be afraid to say it, because it's happening. And it's just certain people in our particular country who doesn't want it known or doesn't want to admit that they're real. But many government leaders, the guy in Canada has come out, I think it was I don't remember, the Minister of Defense or someone, who just said, look, these things are as real as the airplanes that fly over our head, you know. And so I've been delving into that a lot lately, because I wanted to see what people are saying. I wanted to see the latest research in it, and I wanted to get a better understanding and a better grip on the phenomenon, so I can be able to help others in that too, and maybe bring a little clarity to some of the questions that they may have, and just tell people the truth about it. And one of the things that has come to me is, like, you just can't deny it. I mean, you've seen it all through history. The Bible speaks of God's UFO, his flying object. A lot of archaeologists have found in digs, scriptures, ancient texts about beings from the gods coming down in ships and things like that. So why not? Why not? So it's real. Now, the sad news about it, and that's the thing I wanted to talk to you tonight, is that they're going to use it to deceive us, to deceive people. And okay, like I said, I'm a Christian. Okay, I believe very much in God, but I love science, and I don't see any conflict between science and Christianity or believing in God or a belief in God. They go hand in hand. I mean, what is God? He's a scientist. Look at what he's done. Look at the universe. Look how amazing it is, and all the things that we see that are just mind-boggling about the creation, about the universe, about our planet. It's just fantastic, So science I don't believe there's any conflict whatsoever between science and religion or God, Like I said, okay, you may know by now that I'm not an atheist. And so everything goes together, I believe. But this UFO thing is starting to skyrocket. And I believe not only because people are seeing these UFOs, because I believe there's some kind of a plan, a devised plan by the higher ups to kind of deceive us. And I believe very, very soon, and to the dismay of some Christians, that they're going to see ET come and land in, they always say Washington, in all the space movies, they always have the ship lands in Washington, D.C. Why can't he land in Paris? Or why won't it land in Sydney? Or somewhere like that. But anyway, this ship is going to land, and they're going to tell us, the alien always comes out in the movies, like, what's that, the Day the Earth Stood Still, War Against the Worlds, and things like that. The guy comes out and says, hey, we've been watching over you, and now you've reached a certain point in your technology and your scientific abilities that we have to step in and kind of guide you a bit. Now, okay, possibly, but there's another little thought about it. I believe that these creatures are beings, or whatever you want to call them, do exist. And I believe before, as a kid, okay, you had science, spacesuits and masks and all this, helmets and all this devised instrumentation to be able to live in different atmospheric conditions on different planets. But I believe that these are really real, these are beings, and they've come from another world. Now there's two things that are possible scenarios when it's coming from the other world. They come to Earth through some kind of propulsion to time and space, light years away from us, flying through space, and they eventually get here and they're going to land soon. Or there's the scenario of dimensional travel through portholes, whether, you can bend space and have a little corridor that opens up that they can come from, let's say, millions of light years away in just a few minutes. Pass through those little holes. A lot of people, discuss black holes and teleportations. You can come from one part of space to the other place in space in a moment, in a few instances, in an instant. So I'm more inclined to believe the porthole theory instead of propulsion theory, and that's why I believe it kind of comes together, that there's going to be some kind of a deception in this thing. Now, the reason why I believe in the porthole or coming through dimensional travel is because I believe in angels and I believe in demons, okay? I believe there's the good forces of God on this side and other forces of evil on that side. And they travel. And I believe that they travel in vehicles, circles of light. You always see angels with a halo. How do you know it's not a symbol of that light around their hair, the glow that they had, right? They travel in light. I could discuss that another time because it's a big issue and a lot of pros and cons about that. So just as angels can travel in circles of light, I believe that demons are evil or sinister beings from the spirit world, the dimension that we don't see with our eyes, can travel in a vehicle, right? Just like, and they come to Earth and they travel around in these vehicles. I believe it. I've seen it. I don't deny it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I wasn't hallucinating. I was awake. Like millions of people who've seen these things. And so tonight, I believe that there's a plan being concocted. Now, the reason why I'm making this particular show is I believe that there's a plan being concocted by the higher-ups who are going to try to deceive us. And the deception is that they have contacted these other beings from other worlds. But I believe it's more the sinister ones that are working with actual physical people, us, beings on this planet. And together they've concocted a story or a scenario where we're going to believe a lie that's very deceptive and very destructive in the end. And they're using technology. And I do believe they've contacted these beings, and these beings have shown humans how to build flying saucers, are objects that can move very quickly without using physics that we're related to. That's something that we understand. So I believe they made these things. They're going to come on the earth, and a lot of the thing is, it's not that that's so bad or evil, but the thing is, what they're going to tell us is that, boom, I believe they're going to peddle that evolution thing on us, that we're from another world and we've evolved and had a higher technology kind of a thing. And a lot of people are going to be freaked out, to say the least. They're going to be like, wow, well, I didn't know. God's not true. Evolution's the truth. Well, no. Like I said, God's a scientist, and I believe that He's created these beings, and they live in another dimension. And okay, the Bible, the people that put a more religious connotation on the Bible, like angels with wings and robes, and the demons, they're always these evil-looking creatures. A lot of these creatures that these people see are pretty grotesque. So something's kind of weird. Why do they have to look ugly, a lot of these creatures? And I do believe that they have also, the negative ones, on the evil side, have worked together with scientists on this earth to develop actual physical beings, people. Let's say a hybrid of us, man, and these creatures. And the reason why I believe in these things is because of the Bible. You really should read the Bible. If you haven't, take the opportunity to read the New Testament first. Don't just go from Genesis to Revelation, but read the New Testament first, and it's a little more for us now. And I'll be doing more and more videos, and I'll be doing a lot more things online. And there's tons of stuff out there. Read it. Go visit a lot of the people. A lot of these people are saying a lot of good things that can encourage you. They can inspire you. You can get a lot of good knowledge from the net. Also, you can get a lot of weird knowledge from the net. And you can get a lot of misinformation that's put out there deliberately to deceive you and confuse you. So you got to really kind of take time to look at it. And don't believe every single thing you see. If you don't want to believe this, it's great. It's okay. But, you can tell when something's really good or not by the effect. And if you take the Bible, if you know the Bible, if you do know the Bible, just compare it with the Bible. Compare it with the things you've read. Compare it with the things you know. Compare it with the things that you believe. So just try that out. So anyway, I don't want to get too long, but I want to say, don't be freaked out by all the things that you're going to see that's going to happen in the near future with a alien landing. They're really going to land, and it could be like that. I'm not saying definitely, but there's a lot of things that point toward that. And as we move into this within the next few years, as we see, more and more robots are coming into play, and the more wise the robots that are, what do you call it? They can think for themselves and they can talk for themselves. Artificial intelligence, right? They're becoming more and more able to think for themselves, and they're actually teaching these machines to think and act like humans. And you're going to see that. And the Bible talks about that. It talks about this image of the beast, or some kind of thing that is going to be a resemblance of this beast. Now, everything in Revelations, a lot of it seems mysterious, but it's clear in a lot of areas. Once you know the ropes and you know the keys and you know a little bit about what it means. But there's a very simple verse, and it's about the word, it uses the word deception. And a lot of these things that are about ready to unfold before us are things that are going to deceive a lot of people. So I think they're going to do this little play for us to make us believe that there is no God, and that you shouldn't believe in God, and you only should believe in technology and evolution. And here's a little verse that says, look, this is in the book of Revelations, and it's chapter 13, and it's verse 13, and it says, here, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And verse 14 says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying unto them that dwell on the earth, I'm sorry, it's the King James Version. That's the Bible I got here, but you can read other versions, and it's similar, if not the same. And to do these miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. Wow. So once you know this, you study a little bit about it and read a little more about it, you're going to know this image and this beast is not talking about an animal, but it's talking about some kind of person or some kind of being that's going to be ruling the earth very soon. And he's going to do miracles. Okay, what is a miracle? Something that's not normal, something that's not the average run-of-the-mill event, right? A miracle, like Jesus did miracles. He turned water into wine. Okay, is that normal to turn water into wine? No. But a lot of these things are going to be happening, and people are going to go, wow, this is fantastic. Okay, let's be honest. The technology, some of the things that are coming out now are fascinating and like, wow, mind-boggling. And we're making a lot of advances in computer sciences and biological sciences, and it's amazing. Not to speak of the stuff that they don't tell us and that you can't see that's classified. Okay, it's all classified, and it's stuff that's beyond belief. But not a being is doing it, but we're doing it. Human beings are doing it. And I think a lot of this technology and a lot of the know-how to do that is coming through these beings. But the deceptive part of it, I believe, is coming from the evil beings. So when they reveal this spaceship or ships or whatever kind of vehicle it is, and some people have seen them already, don't just freak out and panic and lose it just because you see a spaceship. It doesn't mean it's from another planet, physical planet, millions of light years away, okay? I've heard, like I say, I believe that it's a dimensional thing. And you see all these people, they call them channelers. They're hearing the people from the big spaceships, and they're hearing these voices. I watched a documentary not too long ago where this young lady said she came from another planet and all this other stuff, and all these other people were like, wow, she's connected into Python or Madaridodon, whatever the name it is, some creature from another world is talking through her. And I looked, and I was looking at this young lady, and I just got, oh my God, after look, this person is possessed. I'm sorry, but for some reason we have this idea that possession is somebody that's writhing on the floor. Okay, maybe through the movies of Jesus that we've seen, and through other stories about the biblical term, or other, the priest sprinkling the water and what's that other weird movies that came out in the 60s about this girl. Anyway, someone who's demon possessed doesn't have to be writhing on the floor. They can talk to you as normal as possible. They can be as normal as regular. Wow, and they can be telling you a lot of BS. So just because they put a suit, a helmet and a spacesuit on, and they tell you this stuff that we come from the planet Zydor, and, a million light years away, doesn't mean it's the truth. And just because the word technology is put over it doesn't make it the truth either. I mean, what's wrong with technology? But if they're a lie is a lie. You can have the scientific lie, or you can have the biblical lie, or you can just have a lie. It's not the truth, right? So if you see these things, don't panic. My advice to you is don't panic. Don't be all freaked out. It's just normal. It's life. It's just God's creation, and you're seeing it, and you're experiencing it. So just roll with it, and just be amazed. If you don't know why it's happening, you can talk with other people who might have a little more insight into these things, and you can learn a lot. But don't fall for the lie of the devil and the people that are controlling this world and bringing it to its end. So those things are real, I can guarantee you, and we can talk a little more about it. You don't have to be afraid of these things or not feel it. Oh God, maybe God's been lying to me and there really isn't a God and evolution is the truth. Just because it's got a little scientific facade over it doesn't mean the Bible's not the truth. It's just as the truth as it ever has been. It's the Word of God, and God's real, and angels and those spirits, beings are real.